Hello everyone, it's your father, SethTheProgrammer. Today we're going to be talking about some Dragon Ball Super for once, and my current thoughts on the whole Vegeta versus Ultra Instinct Goku debacle, as many people have questions about this. Now, when I say Ultra Instinct, I'm referring to the sign or omen form, as people argue about which one is better, and some say the white-haired form is called Master due to the anime calling it such, so for the title, it's just gonna be Ultra Instinct. Apologies to all my sons and daughters that makes upset. Regardless, I actually streamed my live read of this chapter on Twitch, as well as a live read of Boruto and even Kid Goku versus Kid Naruto, which you can check in the description. I also uploaded these talks as videos on my new third channel for Twitch VOD. You guys should seriously check it out if you've missed me. Now, in Chapter 61, we got some very interesting concepts, such as the debate of Vegeta surpassing Omen, and Vegeta's new Spirit Fission ability. Both are wonderful ideas, so let's get into them. Before we can really get into 61, we kind of go back to Chapter 60, where we have Goku fight Moro and Ultra Instinct, and while it seems like Goku is overall pushing Moro back with his abilities, it turns out Moro was just playing it safe and easily overpowers and destroys him afterward, stating that he has nothing to fear if that's all Goku can output. In fact, the beatdown is so bad that Goku is pretty much done for completely, even after Whis had a whole rant that Goku and Vegeta are Saiyans with an exaggerated ability to grow in a pinch. Much different than what we've seen with Broly and Jiren's fights respectively. Of course, Goku never fought full power Broly. That was Gogeta, and Jiren probably never went all out until the end of their fights, but still an interesting smackdown regardless in terms of power scaling. Vegeta then arrives shortly after the fight with instant transmission, and says that if Moro was looking for someone stronger than him, he's found it. This is good because, of course, Vegeta knows that Goku can use Ultra Instinct now. Whether he thought he used the silver-haired form is debatable. However, it seems a bit unlikely considering the performance by Vegeta shortly afterward. Moro then confirms that Vegeta will be his finest meal yet, so to say that Blue Vegeta is actually stronger than Omen or Sign Goku now is not even really a far-fetched concept. We are reading the manga continuity here, but using the anime, we know that Omen or Sign Goku is strong enough to fight Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla when Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken lost to just a Super Saiyan version of that. Omen is also considered to be an amplification of the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20 plus Spirit Bomb launched at Jiren, and many argue that it's bare minimum 40 times blue using the anime, if not greater, and that's being very strict. I'm saying this because if Vegeta is truly stronger, then that means he might actually be over 40 times stronger than Goku base to base by this point, which is a massive gap. Vegeta is pretty much strong enough to take on Super Saiyan Goku in base form with that logic. That's also not to mention the Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla arguments and the scaling for Super Saiyan 2 compared to 1, but we'll ignore that for this video. You guys probably know why. This video is mainly just an update video. I'm not trying to get into a heated debate about Super Saiyan 2 multipliers. We also need to consider that Vegeta has his own evolutions of Super Saiyan Blue inside of the manga, so this comparison isn't as one-to-one as I even suggested there. Throughout the Super manga, Super Saiyan Blue has had a gradually changing aura and style throughout it, to signal the mastery of the form respectively, and recently in V-Jump, we got many good confirmations about concepts inside of the manga, such as Perfected Blue, which was described as, this evolution locks Blue's overwhelming power inside of the user's body, allowing them to fight at extended periods at full strength. V-Jump also adds that there is a Blue Kaioken in the manga as well, stating, utilizing the principles of Kaioken, the user is able to temporarily increase their power as a Super Saiyan Blue. It also goes over Vegito Blue, now stating that Vegito's power rivals Beerus as full confirmation, and I'll get into that and possibly in another video in the future as it's kind of pretty important. Finally, it says, Blue Evolved. Vegeta overcomes his own limits to achieve this uniquely styled mastery of Blue. This is shown very blatantly as a different aura that Beerus actually notes, and it's colored differently on the actual manga volumes and chapters. There's still some contention here though. with whether this is exactly synonymous with the anime's version of Super Saiyan Blue evolution. Obviously, the anime's description and idea of Super Saiyan Blue has always been different than the manga's, and in a comment from Dragon Ball Super Episode 131 director Megumi Ishitani, he stated, "Thank you for your questions. When writing this response, director Nakamura looked over it too. I'm amazed and also extremely happy to see people continue to have so much interest even this long after it stopped airing. Vegeta's evolved version of Blue is an anime original. Like you said, that form is the result of him mastering his strength in a different way than Goku, which I also went over in my Vegeta Surpasses Goku video 3 years ago. Strength-wise, please think of it as about the same as Goku's Blue Kaioken. The following is merely my own personal opinion, but I think Vegeta would never call it quits on his own strength, being as proud as he is. I doubt he would shut up while Goku has surpassed him with Ultra Instinct." And what an insight that was, because here we are today, now debating Vegeta versus Ultra Instinct Goku. So, obviously the director was on the money there, but so him saying things like, it's an anime original are obviously interesting. So to be generous, you can say that the manga is simply taking that concept and running with it as to not make the two continuities seem alien to each other, and that this statement was made before the manga released this form. However, these things need to be considered. Obviously, if evolution is considered like its anime counterpart and it's a nigh equivalent to Kaioken times 20, give or take, then the difference in power Vegeta would need from base Goku might not need to be as high, only 2 times plus, but this is disregarding the fact that the whole 40 times plus multiplier has always been the bare minimum, and using the Kefla fight, it should honestly be much higher. I described a lot of this in my How Strong is Mastered Ultra Instinct video, which you can check in the description below. Still, very impressive for Vegeta regardless. If I had to be a skeptic, however, which I'm not saying I am, but if I had to be, it might be possible to argue Vegeta isn't stronger than Oma and Goku still, but rather has a crazy new hacks ability and might be stronger base to base. This argument is formed off the basis that Gohan and Piccolo don't see a difference in Blue Vegeta at all, and that when Moro comments on Vegeta being his finest meal, that could have been after Vegeta already split apart Moro's energy, which simply made Vegeta seem stronger than he actually was at that moment. That's just a skeptic's argument though. I myself am okay with Vegeta currently being stronger, and I think it's implied through the narrative. Goku also says that Vegeta has surpassed him, which would be weird if he was just saying it base to base. This statement of Goku saying Vegeta surpassed him does not need to mean Vegeta surpasses full Ultra Instinct, by the way, as that's not an ability Goku can actually use on a whim. It's more of a limit break out of his control. So Goku could still make that statement and simply be referring to what he knows he can do on command in a fight, with the Moro fight being the ultimate example of this. You can kind of think of it like Goku and the gang, they never refer to their Uzaru selves as their maximum potential when they can't control it earlier in the series. So, another debunk to the whole skeptics argument as well, by the way, is that we do know that Vegeta actually did get stronger, regardless of Gohan and Piccolo's statement, because, for one, Gohan and Piccolo later comment that he got a lot stronger, as did everyone else, but we also know that during Vegeta's spirit training, he was actually surprised by his own power when he killed the Zarbon knockoff with a spirit gun attack. But I'm fully curious what you guys think though. Are you more on the skeptic side of this? Do you think it's more just hacks related? Or are you fully on board with Vegeta surpassing Omen? I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts down below. Regardless of that though, Vegeta has unlocked an ability that Goku does not possess. Spirit Fission, and oh man, I've been saying that Vegeta has needed to have different powers than Goku since December 2017, almost 3 years ago, and it's finally come in a very awesome way, in my opinion. Say what you want about Super. I'm a full fan of Vegeta's new technique, and I think it's one of the most fitting additions to his character I've ever seen, or really could even imagine, to be honest. I really couldn't even think of a way to really differentiate Vegeta and Goku, and yet here it is. And not only did they take this advice, I'm not saying they actually watched my video and listened to me, but not only did they seem to take this advice, it's almost heavily implied, because Vegeta then says, oh, I'm not going to use instant transmission though, because it's Goku's move. So they literally want them to be different now. Like, they're actually forcing it down our throats that, yes, they're gonna have different abilities now. So even when Vegeta can use Goku's techniques, he still branches off. He says, nope, that's your thing. I got my own. Which, I gotta give it up for the boys. You know what I'm saying? That's some 10 out of 10 Dragon Ball. That's what I've always wanted. But anyway, Vegeta quotes that his Spirit Fission technique is capable of splitting apart fused beings, including absorption and so forth, with the statement that he thinks that fusion and so on is not a warrior's way and that he wants a fair fight. Brilliant! Brilliant! He even claims that it could split apart Piccolo's Namekian fusion. And speaking of Namekians, apparently the Dragon Balls kept their bodies all from decaying so they could just come back to life like nothing happened. And it makes sense that Vegeta would have this technique, though. It certainly is his style, and I go into way more detail in the complete chapter review I put in the description. But just imagine Vegeta coming in and punching Super Buu Gohan absorbed in the face, and he just splits back into all his original parts, or even back into Kid Buu. Or imagine God Vegeta fighting a fusion from a previous arc and just defusing them with a blow or two. What if he fought Super Vegito from the Buu Saga and just punches him in half? Or if he fought Blue Vegito from the Black Arc, just punches him in half. What if he fought Fusion Zamasu, just punched him in half? What is the limit to it? Could he punch apart Annie Raza? Could he punch apart Kefla? What is the limit? Even within Dragon Ball, it also makes you wonder if this ability could work in other series. If Vegeta fought Yuha or Ichigo from the series Bleach, would he split apart all of their powers down to their bases? Would he split Ichigo up from his Hollow and his Bankais? Or if Vegeta fought Naruto and Sasuke from Naruto Shippuden, could he just punch the 6 paths Hagoromo chakra out of them? Could he punch the 9 tails out of Naruto? What are the limits to an ability like this in Versus debating? It's something I hope to see discussed much, much more for sure, and it's very promising. I love the concept. Other than that, the chapter has a few cringy lines in it, like Piccolo saying Vegeta never underestimates his opponents, which you guys have seen every meme under the sun on that one. I mean, Vegeta's character is almost defined in the community by underestimating opponents, whether it be Perfect Cell, or Frieza, or even some of the Ginyu Force, or Goku. You know, it's always kind of been that he has underestimated his opponents. He even underestimated Kid Buu, which is where many people think Vegeta's arc was sort of completing. He seemed to underestimate them. So maybe Piccolo is more so referring to current Vegeta doesn't underestimate his opponents, and maybe that's why Vegeta was so quick to fuse versus Broly, but then you just have this character contradiction where Vegeta's like, I want a fair fight, and then here he is fusing with a low-class Saiyan versus a singular Saiyan opponent. Or you can go with Vegeta now doesn't underestimate his opponents and will do whatever it takes. Both seem kind of weird. They kind of seem at odds with each other. It doesn't really seem to work too well, but there's also the statement Goku hasn't changed since Piccolo met him, and we know that's definitely not true. I mean, Goku had the entire passing the torch arc from the Android Saga all the way to the Buu Saga, where in the Android Saga, Goku realized, wow, did you know that I could actually die at any time and it's out of my control? So maybe I should start training the next generation in case that happens. And then he was shoving Gohan into the fray rather than he himself jumping into the fray like he always does, or training Gotenks and Gohan and then saying, hey, I went easy on Buu so they could take over. Piccolo even acknowledges these changes, yet here he is saying, you haven't changed a bit. Or the Goku's like, I am not a Saiyan. You know, I'm an Earthling. And then at the end of the Frieza saga, he's saying he's the Super Saiyan, you know? There's so many changes with Goku that I honestly want to make my own video on it, but the lines are just terrible, and a lot of people are definitely memeing on Toyotaro, and he quite frankly deserves it. Like, this is really dumb writing, but I'm just going to let my chapter review kind of speak for all that. If you guys are interested, I'd rather not even bother having to write out my response to those, so Moro then becomes Voro and turns into a Cooler, Cell, and Ram Goat fusion and destroys Vegeta in an instant. So What do you guys think will happen next? Omen Fusion? Beerus versus Moro SmackDown? Let me know down below. And other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed my little update on the chapter. And if you want to see more, just let me know. Also, be sure to check out my Twitch and my VOD channel. I linked in the description. You will not be disappointed. Till next time.